Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review for Night of the Demons from 2009. This is the remake to the original Night of the Demons, and I think some people don't know this movie exists. It just fell under the radar. I don't even think it had a major theatrical release anywhere in the world. So it's quite a rare one because not a lot of people have seen it. And not a lot of people know about it. Now, because this is an older movie, guys, there is going to be spoilers in this review. So if you don't really want to know anything about it, if you haven't seen it, then don't watch this video. However, if you don't mind spoilers, or if you've seen it, then continue watching. We get a mini backstory at the beginning, set in 1925. I think this is quite a nice touch. I'm always worried that remakes are going to be shot for shot, beat for beat to the originals. And as much as a lot of this is, I like the fact that they gave us an opening that shows the beginning of the demons, or maybe this is just one of the incidents that happen in this house, but it tries to claim 7 souls, and the woman Evangeline, she would have been the 7th soul. She takes her own life so that the demons couldn't take over. The aesthetic to this film was very interesting because it felt like a Rob Zombie movie. Aesthetically, Rob Zombie, the music was like Rob Zombie. I think the only thing that was missing was the dialogue, the very bad dialogue. That's a good thing because I like Rob Zombie's style. I just don't like the dialogue that he uses in his movies. So this one kind of felt like that. Now, the plot synopsis to this film is almost identical to the first one, so I won't really get into that if you've made it this far. But one thing I was quite weary of was when I first started watching the movie and there was this Halloween party hosted by Angela. There was lots of people there, and I was like, oh no, like I don't want to see lots of people there. I want an intimate party with only a handful of people. Luckily though, the police shut the party down and some people stayed, some people came back, and then we had that really small bunch, that intimate party that I was hoping for. You all remember the dance scene from the original featuring Angela. Well, this one does have a dance scene as well. It wasn't as iconic as the original, but it was very sexual, and in fact I think the whole movie was very sexual. It just felt like this kind of sexual tension style film. I know that the first one had a bit of that in it, but this one just amps it right up. The story for the original was paper thin, but this one, although the story was still paper thin, they tried to explain a few things, and I think anything and any time they tried to explain things, it was very convenient, like the writing on the wall that explains the 7 souls for them to try and get out of the house alive. So very convenient, but at the same time, the storyline felt very 80s, almost like back in the 80s, you get those convenient storylines for horror films just to get you from A to B to C to D. And it's the same with this one. It felt very 80s, almost like it was intentional for the audience. And it's the same with the final girl. It's got the classic final girl tropes. The final girl does specific things to try and get out of it, and she finally defeats the demon. All very typical, but at the same time very enjoyable. The ending started to feel a little bit heavy because Maddie, the main character, it looked like she was doing what Evangeline done at the beginning of the film, take her own life so that the 7th soul couldn't be taken. And it looks like she'd done the exact same thing. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And then obviously she put a rope around her waist as well as her neck so that she miraculously survived. I found it quite funny though that when she'd done that, the demons just accepted that she took her own life and then they went away. And she's like, haha, fooled you. And I think that was quite funny. But it went from really dark to really funny at the same time. The acting in this film was actually really good. Comparing it to acting in the previous 3 movies, it was almost diabolical for those first 3 movies. Apart from the second one, the acting was decent. But in this one, the acting was really good. Yes, we had a few people that was a bit dodgy, but overall, the acting was really good. The cast was quite big as well. You had Edward Furlong, Diora Baird, Shannon Elizabeth, Keena. So you had quite a lot of names in there that we knew, not just in film, but in the horror genre. We also had a nice little cameo from Linnea Quigley. I think it was quite a weird cameo as well because of what she was doing in front of her audience.
Yeah, I have all kinds of sweets.
For a film from 2009, I was expecting a CGI fest, and a really bad CGI fest at that, but I think they knew their budget. They didn't use any CGI. If there was CGI used, it was very minimal. Anything that they used in this one, from as far as what I could see, was mostly practical effects. And I think that's a good tribute to the first 3 movies, because the first 3 movies mostly used practical effects. And for 2009, you have to give them props that they didn't dive into the CGI. They stuck it to practical effects. And not only did they stick to practical effects, the practical effects that were used were actually really good. The only issue I had with the script was with Colin's backstory. Colin was played by Edward Furlong. Now, he was a drug dealer, and at the start of the film, he went to his drug lord, his boss, and his boss was saying, you need to make me double money, you need to make me this and that. And it was a really long segment. And I was thinking, okay, Colin's going to go to this party to sell the drugs. He's not going to get enough money, or his drug lord boss is going to come to the party and die. But none of that happens. We get that build-up segment. Colin goes to the party. People die, including Colin. And then his boss doesn't get any money. His boss doesn't appear until the very end credits when he's still with this girl that he was with at the beginning of the film. And I'm like, that's a whole waste of a plot. I feel like the actor who played the boss maybe put some money into the project, and he said to the director at the time, I want a part in the film. So they created this elaborate part that just never came to fruition. So with regards to the script, I liked all of the script apart from that bit. I can't lie, guys, I liked it. I know that people didn't like this film, people that seen it. I don't think I've met anyone who actually liked the movie who had seen it, but I like it. There's just something about it that felt very nostalgic to the original film from 1988. It had the Halloween theme to it, it had great practical effects, good acting, and some really good gory moments in it as well. And it still paid a really nice tribute to the original movie without trying to copy it beat for beat. So if you want to do a remake right, maybe look to something like this. It's not a perfect film, it's not amazing, it's not a movie I want to watch every Halloween, but if somebody puts it on, I'll find myself watching it because there's something about it that I really like. It's obviously really nice to look at with the actors in it as well, but it's still a decent remake. So what are your thoughts on the remake to Night of the Demons, guys? Do you think there was enough changes made so that it wasn't classed as a carbon copy? And did you enjoy what they'd done? Did you enjoy the changes that they made anyway? But leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the